Hey everyone, my name is Mike, and I want to talk to you a little bit about some things that we've learned over the last about year building Volley. So Volley connects you with relevant people who can help you solve a problem you're facing. And our goal is to make the internet more helpful and the act of asking for help online more human. This is what our product looks like today. And today, I'd like to share with you guys how our product has evolved in pursuit of that goal, and also sort of 3 lessons that we've learned along the way. So let's do it if that sounds okay. So when we first started Volley, again, with the idea of connecting you with relevant people who can help you solve a problem you're facing, we thought, well, what's the quickest way for us to test this idea? What's the quickest way for us to help you meet someone who has a particular skill set that you're looking for? And what we started with is we said, we don't want to build anything. We don't want to build a big product and find out that no one is going to use it. So we actually started as an email app. And we built a small community all through email. And we allowed people to submit requests like this. I'm looking to grab a coffee with someone who can give me advice. In this case, Alessia, who was about to join BitMaker. And what we found was that email provided a really great way for us to iterate rather quickly. Again, we're not really coding anything. Very, very quickly, we realized that this whole notion of connecting people around problems, around their needs, was producing a lot of value. People started to meet up in person, people started to work together, people really started to help each other around these problems they were facing. And we saw that, again, all in email. And one of the big things that stood out was this whole notion of passing a request on to someone who you know who can help. And what that became, again, first in email, was something we called a volley. The notion of volleying a request to someone who you think can help. And again, that grew out of email. But we reached the upper bound of what email could do for us. We realized that it was time for Volley to build its own app, something that could connect people more efficiently than email alone. And this was the first version of Volley. And this is something that we showed, as Dorina mentioned, in September. It's a card-based UI, very, very simple, focused on people's questions. And this evolved, it became sleeker, became more functional, and we made it very easy for you to volley requests to people who we think you know who can help. And what happened about 2.5 months ago is we reached the upper bound of that original web app. We realized that as Volley was growing, this simple card-based UI wasn't sufficient. It wasn't accommodating all the new types of requests, all the new types of topics, all the new ways that you can connect someone who you know with a problem that someone you see is facing. And so this is what our product now looks like today. And it's a really great foundation for us as we grow onto mobile and other platforms as well. So you'll see it evolve a lot more in the coming months. Now, over the course of this evolution, we've learned a couple things, and I'm excited to share them with you. The first is the importance of being honest in your product development. This is the first version of Volley, and right away, we learned that it really, really paid off to be honest about who are the people behind it, who's building this product. Many, many startups tend to impersonate large companies. They tend to convince people that they're like the world's biggest company, the smartest people behind this product. And it's kind of disingenuous. We took this approach of just being really, really truthful about who's behind the product and what our intentions are. And that's really paid off in a really big way for us. The second way that we try to be really honest is through our language. And what better way to receive an email than to receive an email from one that you'd actually want to receive? Who doesn't like being greeted by Reggie Watts? Reggie Watts is a pretty awesome guy. So it's about being honest in your language. So I'd encourage you guys to think about, through your own email marketing, sending your users emails that you yourself would like to receive. And the third way that honesty has been a core learning for us is in our transparency. Teaching our users about why we're building Volley. allowing them to participate in what our values are, allowing them to see the kind of feedback we're collecting. And so here we've got a public wiki that documents everything that we do behind the scenes at Volley. And that continues to evolve, and it's something that's participatory. Anyone can join. Anyone can be part of that. The second key lesson that we've learned since September has been this idea of not being afraid to throw things away. We have built so many prototypes and so many designs and so many different views for Volley that at first we were very frustrated by. That we weren't using these things, we were throwing them away. And it's only when we really started to embrace this idea that excellence is a product of just relentlessness. That's something that Simon brought up. I totally agree. Recognizing that product development is non-linear, that it's something that requires iteration, but not towards like this singular goal. Recognizing that it's something that can ebb and flow is something that's been a core learning for us. And finally, the last key learning for us has been the importance of asking for help. The first way that we've really embraced this is by asking our users for help, and be it through like a '90s visor guy, or through other ways that are more direct. Building collaboratively, I think products that build collaboratively win today. And so as you guys look at building your own products and working on whatever you're working on at the moment, you can think about how can you guys leverage the community you've already built to help you build something better. I think that's a key insight that you're going to see in products that are really successful over the coming decade. And on the final note here around asking for help, someone mentioned this whole idea of learning from the Valley. What are ways that we as Toronto can be as a robust as ecosystem as Silicon Valley? Well, I think it really starts with asking for help. We've got so many strong communities here in the Toronto KW corridor, so many amazingly robust, albeit fragmented ecosystems, and it's only by the cross-pollination, it's only by everyone in this room asking each other for help, contributing to each other's projects and products, that our ecosystem is going to grow and flourish. So I'd encourage all of you to be humble and to ask each other for help with whatever it is you're working on, and to lend a helping hand when you know that you can, because that's what's going to help us all be more successful. And with that, I managed to convince our team to smile in the front of the camera kind of awkwardly. But we'd love to invite everyone here to our space. We're on the East End, the small little Volley HQ, but we'd love to invite all you guys out. If you're ever on the East End at Queen and Leslie, or not, and you want to make the trip, please come say hi. We'd love to hang out with you, and we'd love to do our part in growing our ecosystem. So thanks very much.
Does anyone have questions to Mike?
Lauren.
So do you have a dedicated team member that collects GIFs and stores them in a collection? Or is this more of a everybody, whenever you have time, find a new GIF?
Yeah. Yeah, so the question was like, yeah, how many like, who's head of GIFs at Volley? Yeah, we all have like folders and folders full of GIFs. We're kind of addicted to it. And actually, to tie this in with Slack and Simon, we're a huge. Our team's like probably the biggest user of this /Giphy thing on Slack, where we're always sort of sharing GIFs between each other. So, yeah, we're big fans.
What's your favorite park?
What's my favorite park?
Bar.
Oh, bar. Oh, that's a good invitation. So our team hangs out at Hitch every Friday, which is a great bar right at Queen and Leslie. And so we're always there. So you should join us. Okay.
Hey, Mike, over here. Over here, Mike. Hey, curious to know how you guys picked .works for your domain.
Oh,
or why you picked
interesting.
It.
Yeah. So the question was, yeah, why we picked .works? there was a long debate internally around one of the new domain extensions, and Works kind of rolled off the tongue. We actually have .help as well, volley.help, which we think is a little bit more on brand, and so we're actually thinking of moving things to .help in the coming months.
Hey, so you said you were using email before to rapidly iterate. As you kind of moved a little bit farther away from that, how do you keep rapid iteration going internally?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean, as a company, we're very focused on our rate of development. We, actually rather recently, have started measuring our velocity through essentially an agile system. So we actually measure our total number of points as a team that we've built. We assign points per story, this sort of standard agile development process, and we track that velocity over time, so week over week. This week we were far more productive than last week, which is great, and next week we'll try to be more productive than this week. So speed is obviously in any startup something that everyone's focused on, and it's certainly something that's top of mind for us too. Sorry. Who's picking? Am I picking? Is that okay? You go. Go ahead.
So when you make the switch from cards to like UI,
Yeah.
how long do you kind of like deliberate those two? What was like that ultimate for you guys?
Good question. So essentially, what we learned with the card UI is that it became, well, it's far more playful. I think it's more fun to swipe through cards. It didn't provide a great sort of scaffolding for future features that we know we needed to build. It was also harder to replicate across platforms. That being said, we've had a lot of feedback from our users recently, saying that cards were really awesome, and we actually we're thinking of a pretty cool way of bringing them back in a way that is supportive of the features that we know we'll be building in the coming months. So it was a tough decision originally, but it was a necessary one.
One more question.
Okay, one more
You,
question.
sir.
Do you have a mobile experience, and how did you decide, I guess, between building mobile versus web first?
Yeah, good question. So the question was, do we have a mobile experience? Why did we decide web first? So the second question, the reason we went with web first was the same reason we went with email first, was that we could move faster on developing on the web. It's far easier to iterate quickly on the web than it is, when you're tied to like a 2-week development cycle or something on iOS, for example. We do have a mobile web experience, so Volley does work quite well on your phone, and we have an iPhone app that's we're working on at the moment, which we hope will be out pretty shortly. So we're excited about that. Thanks.